Hi, my name is Uchiri. This channel is all about fun art challenges. I hope through these challenges I can improve my art skills and share my journey with you. For today's challenge, I will be doing a redrawing of an old original character. I drew this character maybe 10 plus years ago, so I'm hoping that I at least improved a little since then. I haven't done a redrawing of a picture in a long time and thought it might be kind of fun to try something from when I first started experimenting with anime style drawings. The drawing I will be doing for this video is of this original character who looks like she's kind of angry. I chose this one because I thought her outfit was kind of cute and maybe I can improve upon the picture just a bit. I decided to do the redraw in Clip Studio Paint and of course use one of the 3D figures to help with proportions. I went with a different 3D figure that was free in the materials website and thought a taller figure would match the character perfectly. I pre-made the poses that I wanted to work with, and these are the two poses I'll be using. I plan to color in the one that comes out better. And we'll start with the exact same pose as the original, so let's get to it. I started off by outlining the figure with a blue mechanical pencil brush. I don't spend too much time on the details, but just want to get a basic shape done. At the point when I do the outline, I already feel like something is off with the proportions, but go with it and start to draw in the clothing. Her dress is kind of a weird jumper looking uniform type, so it's not too difficult to draw, but I wanted to make the collar look a little more like a collar, and of course add in some clothing wrinkles. For the hair, I kept a similar style to the original with the bangs. I'm not sure why, but at the time the style of bangs was my favorite to draw. But the original was too simple, so I wanted to make it a little more realistic by thinning out the hair. I was also thinking about keeping the weird triangle hair shape for the ponytail like the original, but ended up just doing the hair normally. After the basic sketch is done, time to go back in and refine. I started by trying to give the eyes and face more emotion. I was aiming to make her look pretty angry, but I don't think it was too successful. After working on refining the dress, I really wasn't liking the proportions of the character. She looks like a giant. She has a huge body but a small head, the complete opposite of the original which had a huge head but a small body, which I was debating to keep it like this, but luckily digital art allows us to easily edit things like this. So with the freeform mesh tool we can fix her legs a bit to get better proportions. It did take a couple of tries to get something I liked. And after the legs, I also adjusted her head size a bit to get closer to my usual proportion style. After that sketch, I went back to do a vector outline and of course refine a bit more. But skipping ahead, here is the first pose side by side with the original. Sorry, I just realized I left the sketch layer on, but we'll come back later because now it's time to start on the second one. Since the character had her fist up like she was ready to punch someone, I thought making a more dynamic pose with her ready to fight might be interesting, and that's why I went with this particular pose. Again, starting off with the basic outline of the pose with the super tall body. Since I had practice with the first one, I ended up enlarging her head before adding in details as well as adjusting the leg length just a little. I figured it would be easier to add in details if this is done before, plus I had the previous drawing as a reference. Now for the refining part. Again, I tried to give more emotion in the facial expression to make her look angry and just tried to clean up the basic sketch. Once done with this sketch, I again compared it to the original post sketch. I wanted them essentially to look like the same character and something definitely looked off. I spent a good amount of time thinking about it and ended up fixing the eyes of the first drawing in hopes to make them look more similar as a character. Up until now, I haven't really thought about how hard it is to keep the same look with characters, but I definitely felt it here. I did make a few more adjustments before deciding on which one I would color. At this point, I'm pretty sure you can determine which one I'll go with though. Time to outline and color. From the beginning, I wanted to go with the sketchy type look and color with minimal details like the original. The pen brush I've been using is from the material catalog from Clip Studio. It's called the Momemiri pen, Fude, or brush, and I like it because it gives a more sketchy feel than the real G pen which I usually use. It's a lot harder to use, but since I've been experimenting with it, I like the feeling it gives and thought it would look cool with this redraw. Where I usually try to have clean, simple lines, I definitely went with loose, rough lines for the whole outline, which is way different than what I'm used to. But the final outline actually didn't look too bad. Now on to the simple coloring time. I got the color palette from the original drawing, and since there were no shadows or highlights in the original, I decided to keep this style as well. I guess the original was colored in with colored pencils, so it's super rough, but it was interesting to see what colors the computer pulled from the original. Since my plan was to have a rough coloring job as well, getting the base colors in was a lot faster than usual, but going back and erasing and making sure the colors weren't overlapping took quite a bit of time. After the bases are in, I thought the colors looked completely different, but still balanced well with the overall piece. With the bases done, I did some refining of the lines to make them thicker, and then went back to adjust the coloring and add in details. The eyes I struggled with a bit because I wanted to keep them simple, but ended up going with my usual style. After the eyes, I went back in to clean up the messy coloring style since I thought it was too messy, even though it's actually supposed to be messy. So here's the finished redraw. Taking a look at it next to the original, I hope I have improved at least a little bit. The proportions, thanks to the 3D pose model, are definitely a lot better. Plus, I think the thinner hair and clothing has improved a great amount too, though the shoes still need work. Overall, with the new piece, I enjoyed trying out a different style and think it might be fun to do some more artworks like this in the future. But what do you think? If you'd like to see more like this, please like or leave a comment below. I'm always looking for new things to try out as well. Also, if you really liked the video, check out some of my other videos or hit the subscribe button for more. Thank you for watching and see you next time.